into movie-related discussions, you've come to the right place. Who am I, you ask? I am The Wiz, and I'm doing a solo review today, reviewing the 2019 adventure fantasy film, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, starring Ryan Reynolds, Jessa Smith, and Kathryn Newton, directed by Rob Letterman. So we're doing more video games this week. This is another video game movie that I am reviewing. And let me just go over my history with the Pokemon series. I played the first Pokemon on the Game Boy back in, I think it was like 96? It might have been sooner than that, but I distinctly remember loving the game, even though at the time when I was playing it, I was considered too old to play it. Because, you know, it had a bunch of cuddly creatures and it was cute and stuff like that with kids. And I think it was like 11, 12 at the time when it came out. So if you admitted to somebody in your class that you played that game, you'd get brutally made fun of, which I was dumb and did and got made fun of. Fun times. I've liked the Pokemon games, on and off. See, the problem with the Pokemon games really is they maintain a very strict formula, which is the basic, you are a kid who grows up in a small town to go all over the region to catch Pokemon and do Pokemon battles. It was great in Red and Blue. I also love the remake of Leaf Green and Fire Red that they did. I also liked Pokemon X and Y, and I really liked Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Those were really good games. However, I can't play every single one of the games when they come out. It's just too much, and I go on and off, really, when it comes to the Pokemon game. I did play, though, a lot of the spin-offs. Some of my favorites are like Pokemon Conquest. Pokken is actually pretty good. There are other, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games are really good, so I'm very familiar with the Pokemon franchise. Of course, the one game that I'm not familiar with is Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I did not play it. That game came out shortly before the Switch came out, and on top of that, games like this, they're detective games, or also games like the Phoenix Wright series are really not my thing. So I was not familiar with the story, but I was very familiar with the world. I know what the types of Pokemon are. Like, I can actually, as I was watching the movie, I can like name the Pokemons right off the bat, like that. Like, I was very familiar with them. So I'm familiar enough with the franchise to know what is going on, but not with the story. So the story was fresh to me. The world around it was not. It was something I was very familiar with. So why don't we just get into it? Let's get into the review of Pokemon Detective Pikachu, directed by Rob Letterman. Just a note, I am not doing a spoiler section. It's kind of pointless for this kind of movie. So if you just want to go into final thoughts, if you don't want anything spoiled, that's fine. It will be very light spoilers as we go. So anyway, here we go. I keep remembering the review I did with Zero on the Super Mario Brothers movie and how it actually took the property that it had, respected it enough to where the fans could enjoy it and other people can enjoy it too. And this is the same thing. This film does a good job of maintaining what the Pokemon world is like. It's got a bunch of cute creatures. They all have different personalities. They all do different things. And they're implemented well in the story. Of course, the story is basically a kid finds out his father died, and his Pikachu partner that he has, his father's Pikachu partner, ends up finding him, and by some happenstance, he's able to talk to that Pikachu, and the Pikachu believes he's not dead. And that starts the story of them finding out what happened to his father, and a bigger plot ensues throughout the entire movie. It's pretty standard detective procedural stuff, but it's actually not bad. It's actually competently done. It's also in like a family-friendly way. It's not like hard-bitten. There's not a lot of cursing. There's not any cursing. What am I talking about? It's not violent. It's cute in this way, and the way they implement the Pokemon in the movie, like when they use Apom or the Bulbasaurs and something like that, it actually works really well in this movie. I mean, it adds to the charm of the film. The one thing that they did a great job with is choosing who was going to be the talking Pikachu, which was Ryan Reynolds. I'm not a big fan of Ryan Reynolds as an actor. I'm going to say that right off the bat, but I think personality-wise, him specifically, I like him. I think he's funny. I think he's actually pretty funny in some of the movies. Like when he gets to riff like he does in like the Deadpool movies, he's actually pretty good, and he's good in this too. I actually enjoyed him as Pikachu in this one. I thought I was gonna be kind of annoyed by him throughout the entire movie, but I actually thought he was pretty funny. Like, he had some funny quips, and he was actually pretty cute in this movie too. So I thought that was a really good job that he did on this movie. And the actors in this as well are also pretty good. The main character, Tim, played by Jessa Smith, he was all right in this. He was actually good. He was a standard hero in these types of movies. Not much personality other than what is needed for the movie, but he's all right. I will say that Ken Watanabe and Bill Nighy, who are in this movie, who have small roles, man, do they look bored in this movie. Oh my God, do they look bored. They're like, oh my God, just give me my check and get me out of here. Like, Bill Nighy especially was like, just had this look of, like, how much longer is this? Do I have to be on the set? Like, it really felt like he was bored throughout this entire movie, and it showed. The other person I want to highlight here is Kathryn Newton. If you remember that name from another review I did, she was the person who was recasted as the daughter in the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania movie. And I did not like her at all. She was incredibly distracting. She had this constant look on her face, no matter what the scene is. She had the same expression. And I gotta say, it must have been the direction, because actually she's not bad in this movie. She's actually kind of cute in that kind of dorky, not dorky. I mean, she's adorable in that spunky kind of. I want to call her annoying, but it's annoying in an adorable way. It's kind of like, she's just full of spunk, that girl. You can't be too annoyed, even though if you really had to deal with her, it would be kind of annoying. But she was cute in this movie. I actually liked her. I didn't find her to be that troublesome, really. I thought she was good in the role she was given. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe she needs to have a role more tailored to her. But I saw her name and I saw her in the movie, like, oh no. I was like, oh no, not her. And actually, she turned out okay. So good on her on this one. Writing on this movie, standard stuff. Like I said, the plot is standard. It is a detective procedural movie, but with a kid's twist or a family-friendly twist, which wasn't bad. It actually went through certain twists in the film that I thought were pretty decent, actually. It's not a complicated movie, but it's fun. It goes through the twist quite well. The ending is all right. It kind of washes away everything that happens and like tie it in a nice bow. But again, that's what they do in kids' movies. So yeah, okay, fine. Direction. I'm gonna give credit to the director here on a few things. One, he paced the movie quite well to where I really was not bored at all, or was complaining when the movie was slowing down. It just seemed like there was enough action and comedy in the movie to keep me entertained throughout, which is great. What I do want to give him credit for is the design of the Pokemon themselves. They did a mix of realistic shading, but that looks a lot like the Pokemon in the games, and it works out really, really well. I mean, really well. I am actually kind of stunned how it looks, because I remember watching the original trailer from this years ago and looking at the Pikachu and going, that is one furry dude. I don't know about this. Like, I looked at him and was like, looks kind of damn creepy. Like, I don't know if I want I don't want this. But it actually turned out really well, especially with Pokemon like Gengar and Bulbasaur. Like, Bulbasaur is my favorite. Second favorite's Eevee, and Eevee looked cool too. Like, they actually look pretty damn good. Like, almost to the point where I'm like, I kind of wish Game Freak would actually make a game with these models. These would be fantastic. I would really like that. But they'll never do it because, I'm not going to get into that. But the look of the film, everything was really well done. I mean, really well done. And on top of that, too, what I was really surprised by is that it stayed true to the games. The way that the games' towns is there's a town, a lot of wooded area, and then a town. And this movie kind of sticks with that, which I was like, I kind of appreciate that. It's dumb, but I appreciate that. That was actually pretty good. So yeah, I actually enjoyed the direction of the film, the way it looks, and the way the Pokemon look and everything. And the style of the way that the film was made, I think is the right mix. They took it's light detective drama, a lot of comedy, and a lot and some good action. I think that was actually really well done for the director on this one. I want to point out one last thing before I get to my final thoughts. I never want to see a Ditto in human form ever again. That was fucking unnerving. It was absolutely unnerving. If you don't know what a Ditto is basically a Pokemon that can turn to other Pokemon. However, the main difference between the Pokemon that is a Ditto and the Pokemon that's a regular Pokemon is that the Ditto Pokemon have very small, black, lifeless eyes. And if you want to give yourself nightmares, look up the Kathryn Newton Ditto version, and you'll see what I mean. It is kind of creepy, and it's kind of unnerving, and I never want to see that again. They did Ditto right. I'm going to say that right now. They did a good job with Ditto, but man, did I not want to see the human part. That was just like, no thank you. I'm going to have nightmares about that tonight. I can already tell. Okay, so final thoughts on Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I actually really liked this movie. I was surprised how much I liked this. I'm going to say it. I like it more than I liked the Super Mario Brothers movie. Not only was respectful to the series that it's based on, again, I have no knowledge of Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I think it's actually entertaining, and it's funny in the right ways. It's a movie that never got me bored or uninterested. Again, really good job on this. Ryan Reynolds is very good in this. I think Justice Smith is good. Kathryn Newton's good. Thank God. Poor girl. I saw Ant-Man the Wasp, and I was like, oh no. But she's actually good. I guess they need a better director for her. I don't know. It was an entertaining film. I'm going to give it 3.5. Yeah, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. I think this was actually very well done. And if I can convince Zero to check this out, I think he would like it too. I think he would really enjoy this. 3.5 stars for Detective Pikachu, or Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Entertaining movie, and if you're a fan of the Pokemon series and you haven't seen this, I'd say check it out. It's fun. I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm surprised by this. Really enjoyable film.